Welcome back to the Mr. Shades Show. We're continuing on with Punisher Month with Punisher Warzone. This movie is directed by Lexi Alexander, starring acting giants Ray Stevenson, Dominic West, and Wayne Knight, of all people. Wayne fucking Knight is in this movie. He plays Microchip. The tech-savvy side hacker dude that all 80s and most 80s, 90s vigilantes had in the comic books at the time. It was a very popular thing. I think he was the most popular one to come out of it. Anyway, so Punisher Warzone. This movie has no plot, almost zero plot. It's all fucking action scenes or Punisher killing dudes. So it gets that part of the movie of Punisher correct. I can't say that's really wrong, but even then they kind of fuck it up in certain ways. So the story of this movie is Punisher accidentally kills an undercover agent, and while trying to take down Billy the Butte Russo, who he ends up disfiguring, by tossing him into a glass, like a vat of glass that breaks it up. I don't know what the hell you would call it, but it's like this vat of just glass shards sitting in a factory, completely open, that people could easily fall into, and well, Punisher makes Billy fall in there and turns it on, because why wouldn't he? He's the Punisher. It's what he does. Anyway, so the movie kind of forgets about him killing the cop pretty quickly, and it's brought up near the end again, and it's just wow, like it kind of pops up. It pops up in between action scenes, and it's just the weirdest thing ever. The way they did it, it's not continuous through the movie. It's like that kind of. It kind of, so it's not always there. It just kind of appears again every now and then. This movie's action scenes are fucking crazy. The first one we get is just Punisher just killing mafia bosses. There's one like in the opening scene, he cuts a guy's head clean off. He breaks another person's neck using his shins. Then he gets up on a chandelier and starts spinning around shooting machine guns, and it's absolutely fucking nuts. All the action scenes are like bang, hit you in the head out of nowhere with random shit. Like, it's actually mind-bogglingly crazy. I do have a bit of a history with this movie too. I hadn't seen it till about, I think, 2010, 2011, maybe even 2012, somewhere in those few years there, where I talked to my friend and was like, hey, have you seen this movie? He's like, no. Cool, I bought a copy, I heard about it, let's watch it together. So we watch it and we're absolutely fucking baffled by it. And I'm still baffled by it every time I watch this movie. I can't believe it actually exists. It is that crazy of an action movie. It's all action scenes, basically. I also do have a full commentary track of me watching the movie. I'll link it in the description below. So this movie, I can't even give it real points for action movies because it's not practical. It's like some of the gunshots are, like when he's shooting, but it's mostly digital squibs. Like even some of the explosions and rockets and stuff that, like, Punisher gets his hand on like a grenade launcher that fires like a rocket launcher for some reason. I don't know. But even then, that was digital, and like they couldn't even like do it right. The CGI in this movie is not good at all. I have to give props to the makeup department though. Fucking Dominic West as Jigsaw looks the part. He looks ugly. He looks like just amazing work there. The way they did all the patchwork with the stitches and like on the skin on his shredded up face looks great. Again, we get crazy, weird side characters in this movie because that's always something that's kind of through all three of these movies. It's really interesting in that regard when watching all three of these movies, and you starting to see certain themes come back up. In this one, they don't actually say what Punisher is, like if he's ex-cop or no, they do. I think they do say I think they say they actually get it right and say he's ex-military. Um, there's where they also bring in Detective Soap from the comics, so that's kind of cool. And Microchip, Wayne Knight's Microchip. He even looked like the way they drew Microchip back in the day was pretty much just Wayne Knight with curly red hair. I think was how he was drawn originally, curly red or blonde hair. Sometimes it's brown or black. It's comic books. Some of this shit changes on the regular. The weird side characters we got for the bad guys are Looney Bin Jim. This fucking guy basically just gets to have fun. Like the villains in this both get to have fun playing their characters. It's really hardcore mafia guy's son, Looney Bin Jim, and Jigsaw, and they're all fucking hamming it up, having a great time on screen. They're the best part of this movie. They're my favorite part of the movie is just watching these guys do their thing. It's absolutely hilarious every time. Meanwhile, on the other side, you got Ray Stevenson as Punisher, and he's just not charismatic. He doesn't have any one-liners. It's basically like this guy heard about the Punisher, didn't like read the source material, didn't know anything. Punisher's supposed to have this dark wit to him when he delivers one-liners, and he's supposed to be kind of jokey, but it's really dark humor and kind of fun. That he's kind of fun in that regard. In this movie, that is completely absent. So Ray just isn't that great as the Punisher if you really know who the Punisher is and you enjoy the writing, and you've seen the other two movies at this point where they actually did have some wit to them and some good lines. Here there's just blank slate, almost nothing to them. So I can't give this movie much points for that. I will say it's a better watch than Punisher 89, but this isn't as good as the 04 movie, like the 2004 movie. This is the middle of the road, better, but not quite as good, I would say. So I think that pretty much wraps up the movie. If you guys like bad actioners, you will like this movie, just purely for laugh at it all the time kind of thing. But other than that, I can't really recommend it to you because it's not that great of a movie unless, again, you're part of that bad movie crowd, which I am. I love my bad movies. So that's going to do it for Punisher Warzone. So thanks everybody for watching.